This is not the man I met. He is egotistical. He disrespects me.
This entire marriage has been forced upon me.
When you don't have trust, when you don't have that foundation, the relationship is over before it starts.
I'm at my breaking point. He has a problem with spending.
You have champagne taste on a soda water budget.
Yes,
What's
honey.
going on?
Come on, champagne taste. It's about the taste, not about the budget.
I can't trust him anymore. The man that I married would never have done that.
I'm not going to advise her to try to make this work because I think it's dangerous. I think it's gone beyond that. Here is today's case.
She fears her fiancé may never commit to walking her down the aisle. She says they've had 20 different wedding dates in the past 5 years. He says the reason for the delay is financial. Will 21 be their lucky number? That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, our virtual audience is filled with your super fans. Today's super fan of the day is Laura from Salem, Connecticut.
Laura, we are so happy to have you with us today. As my special guest, I'm sending you a signed copy of my book, Sis, Don't Settle. Enjoy.
Your Honor, this is the case of Santillanes versus Diaz.
Thank you, Juan. Ms. Benita Santillanes.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. George Diaz
Yes, Your Honor.
to divorce court today. I understand that the two of you were high school sweethearts.
Yes, we were.
And you've been together now for 10 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been engaged for 5 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're now here in divorce court because before you go to the next step, you want to try to see if you can work out some of your issues so you don't end up back here later down the road.
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, ma'am. Why don't you give me some background?
Well, George and I were actually high school sweethearts. So it was an amazing time. And then because of life, you separate and break up. And then 10 years ago, we saw each other at a grocery store. So I was really excited. It was definitely fate. And then, 5 years later, we got engaged. And the problem is that we have been engaged for 5 years. Every time that I tried to plan the date, it's been like canceled 20 times. I mean, there's problems with family. It's just one thing after another. And I want to know, I feel that he's got commitment issues, and if by the end we have a date set for next year, and if it doesn't happen, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Who stays engaged for 5 years?
Well, apparently you do.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the reasons why that's happened. Mr. Diaz, give me some background, sir. Why do you think you're here?
I have no clue why I'm here, Your Honor. All I do is work, 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 and the only reason I'm working is to keeping a roof over our head. And all I have is her complaining, complaining, complaining. She's driving me nuts.
Well, let's talk about this, because you say he's canceled over the last 5 years. How many different times?
At least 20 different dates.
Really?
Yes. It's been one thing after another. I actually submitted the dates to the court.
This is not an exaggeration.
This is not an exaggeration.
So we can play wedding date bingo.
You definitely can.
With this graphic. Mr. Diaz, what do you want to say, sir?
I think 20 dates are a little exaggerating. I'd say 5 I've canceled, but 20, that's probably her 20, not my 20.
Well, let's talk about the 5.
I know what she's on.
I think 5 is a lot. Let's
Yes,
talk
it
about
is.
the 5. What's
True.
going on with the 5 canceled dates? We'll go with your facts.
My facts are, the reason is I canceled those 5. Okay, due to this COVID-19, lucky we survived because I've been working all these crazy hours. I work a side job. So right after I leave my regular job, I go out and do my side hustle. Not just that, on the weekends, I do Uber Eats or something to make more money on the weekend. So when it comes to the weekend, okay, I understand she's tired, but all this is I'm doing it for us.
Okay, Mr. Diaz, can you not go and do Uber Eats one Saturday to do something like, I don't know, get married, if that's what you want to do?
Yes, I can't do that if it was the case. She's actually driving me crazy about this whole ordeal about the...
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
So that's why you've been postponing it?
That's correct.
It's not
Your
really
Honor.
because of work, am I right?
Not because of work, because she is driving me nuts and I'm trying to have the ready day for my own self because I want us to have a cushion, not to worry about anything financially. I'm trying to get a house.
So you're saving?
Yes, I'm saving. I'm trying to save for a house for us.
The two of you live together now?
Yes.
So you're saving money, and for the last 5 years, you don't feel that you've saved enough for the two of you to get married?
We have
Yes,
plenty
ma'am.
of money. We don't suffer from money. It's not about that. We could build it together.
Yeah, but I want to make sure I'm okay. And due to the COVID-19, we have made it because I've been working so many
Working all
hours.
these jobs.
Yes.
You've also said that it's come up that you want to have children.
Yes, absolutely.
What have those discussions been like?
Well, those discussions, when we first talked about it, Your Honor, he said that, yeah, he would love to have kids. But now, there was a time that when we were watching TV, and there was this commercial on with this, like, beautiful girl, and I said to him, I'm like, babe, you know, that little girl is gonna look like our daughter with the long black hair and everything. And I was excited, you know, I love kids. And all of a sudden, he just kind of looked at me, he grabbed my plate, and he walked away. And I'm like, babe, you know, didn't you hear what I said? He goes, yeah, do you want something to drink? Just totally ignored the situation. Now, I mean, he says that, okay, I'm older, but that doesn't matter. I would love to have children. I mean, I think we would have beautiful kids together.
What do you have to say about that, sir?
Your Honor, the only reason I'm avoiding this whole thing, we're both older in age. It's another risk factor because she's older right now, and I don't want nothing to happen to her on her well-being
Why
side
don't you
because
let
she's
the doctors
older.
take care of that?
Mr. Diaz, y'all been together for 10 years. Maybe if you started this 10 years ago.
Yes,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Your
You're
Honor.
right.
Having this
You're right.
discussion.
Thank you, Your
You're definitely
Honor.
right, Your
Hello.
Honor. And also, we're older in age. I say to myself, I'm saving all this money for us to travel. I don't want us to worry about no kids or anything like that. I want us to do things, get up and go, and you know, do what we want to do.
Have you had this open and honest discussion and told her you don't want to have children with her?
And her end, she's been the one talking about it, and I'm ignoring her. I've been like, walking it off and not really, or kind of go with the flow with
This is
her.
the first time I'm
let her
hearing
get
this,
her
Your
hopes
Honor.
high.
Really?
Yes.
This is the first time you've heard
This
this?
is the first time I've heard about this.
So have you point blank asked him, do you want children?
When we got engaged 5 years ago, yes, Your Honor, but it hasn't been kind of like a conversation since then. I
Why?
didn't know that he felt this way. I wish I would have known that he felt this way.
What did he say when you got engaged 5 years ago? What did he say when you asked him?
He said yes, that he would like to have children.
So you didn't think you need to keep asking because he said yes?
Exactly.
Did you say yes 5 years ago and change your mind?
I've been beating around the bush, Your Honor, about it, but I never said
Always.
yes to her.
Always.
Totally. So I've been really beating around the bush on it.
So now, Mr. Diaz, in court today, you're saying that you really don't want to have children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I can understand now the reason why he may not have wanted children. I just wish that he would have told me.
Instead of avoiding the conversation and you constantly having to bring it up, why don't you just have the communication you need to settle it once and for all? You know, that says a lot.
I want us to enjoy life, Your Honor.
I think that you have a right to not want children. And if you know that you don't want to raise more children, you're not wrong for making the choice. What you have to do, though, when you're in a relationship with someone and you know that they want children, you just have to be clear and honest in your communication because each of you get to make a choice with the information that you have.
Yes,
Yes,
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Is that how you really feel?
That's how I feel.
Ms. Santillanes, I know this may be difficult for you to hear, but you came here today, you wanted to know the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hurt, but I can understand now the reason why he may not have wanted children. I just wish that he would have told me
That's
so that
understandable.
I wouldn't have to have all these emotions now. Is this something that I can live with? Yes, because I love him.
I don't know if it's something that you can live with. I think you're saying that now, but 5 minutes ago, you told me how much you want to have children and how important that is to you. And if he had said yes in this courtroom today, you would have been really excited and happy about it. This is not the moment for you to say, okay, now that I know I'm okay, I'm gonna live with this. This is something you really need to think about. Because it's been a long time.
It has been.
And you shouldn't settle for a relationship where you have to really give up a big part of what you want out of life. Because there have been a few other reasons that you said you've had some conflict
Yes.
in the relationship.
Yes. He's always gone. He's always gone. He goes to work 9 to 5, and then he does after work, he does his side jobs, you know, does troubleshooting for like cable and things like that. And I mean, he's never, ever home. I feel like he doesn't want to be around me. It seems like he's always gone.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes, I've been avoiding her in every angle and every way because she keeps on bringing this all to my attention.
What to
constantly.
your attention?
About the commitment, kids, and whatnot. So I've been trying to avoid her, so I keep myself busy with work so it's not constantly eating me up.
So instead of avoiding the conversation and you constantly having to bring it up, why don't you just have the communication you need to settle it once and for all?
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's totally correct, Your Honor.
When you proposed, why did you propose?
Proposed her because she's my best friend. It was destiny when we saw each other again at the grocery store. I love this woman. I'm not going to deny that. I do love her, yes, but I'm trying to get everything all. I'm worried about, like I said, what I went through in my childhood. I don't want us to go through it.
But babe, we're not struggling.
Mr. Diaz, at some point, sir.
Yes.
You're 54 years old.
Yes,
at some point, you have to stop living in the past and start living in the present in your own life.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are not your family history.
That's correct, Your Honor.
The language is not always the same. That certain words don't always mean the same. But whenever I'm around his family, I feel that they'll say something and then they'll laugh and then they'll look at me. His family speaks English. Why can't they speak English when I'm with him?
Mr. Diaz, what's going on? If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. Speaking of your family, that's been a point of contention between the two of you as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because when you marry someone, you're not just marrying them, you're also now becoming intricately involved with their family. What's happening?
So I'm Mexican and he's Puerto Rican, and the language is not always the same. That certain words don't always mean the same. But whenever I'm around his family or by his house, I feel that they'll say something and then they'll laugh and then they'll look at me. And I'll ask him, I'm like, babe, what did they say? And he kind of either ignores me. He's like, oh, well, they're not talking about you. I go, well, I feel like they're talking about me. And it's like, I feel uncomfortable.
What is going on? So you don't understand some of the vernacular language?
I mean,
that they're
like I
using?
said, I'm Spanish. I don't really speak Spanish that much, but the translation between Mexican Spanish and like Puerto Rican Spanish, the words can be different. I mean, who looks at somebody and says something in Spanish and then laughs about it? His family speaks English. Why can't they speak English when I'm with him?
Mr. Diaz, what's going on?
We speak Spanglish. So one minute we're speaking English and then we throw in the Spanish, but it's not towards her. She's taking it the wrong way.
Then why won't you tell me what they say and get me involved?
Well, if I wanted to, we would do that, but if it's between family thing, it's between our
So
thing,
then you're
it's
excluding
conversation,
me.
Your Honor. No, I'm not excluding you. You're in the house. If I wanted to say anything...
Well, then what is
Sweetheart,
thing then?
I'll
Because I
bring it
don't
to your
understand
attention.
that.
We're not making fun of it. If I was, then I'll bring it to your attention after we're done being in my family's house.
So you're having these conversations with your family, but you're saying that in no way, form, or fashion are they making fun of her.
That is
What
correct.
is the inside joke that's being made? What are you laughing at? I want to know.
I would like to know.
I can't explain it, Your Honor, but it's always a Latino thing, but...
See, I'm Latina too, so get me in on the joke.
Well, it's not a joke towards you.
So it's just random banter that you're having. Random
it can
banter.
be, making fun of me when I was a kid. They don't want to let her hear of my embarrassment when I was young.
Well, you have a witness with you in court?
Yes, I did bring a witness on to court today, which is my baby sister.
Okay, and that's Miss Betsy Irizarry?
That's correct.
Okay, Miss Irizarry, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Hi, thank you for being here, ma'am. I understand you want to share some of your observations with the court, ma'am. You've witnessed some things in your brother's relationship, and you'd like to share them.
Yes, Your Honor. I think that Benita is creating a narrative in her mind that we're talking about her. We're not talking about her. When we sit in the family dining room, we talk Spanish. Our family is old school. We're not trying to offend her or do anything, of the sort. We're just trying to communicate with each other. Never have I ever talked about Benita or my family ever said anything negative. We love her. She's been in the family for so long. I don't understand why she would think this. ella es bella, una mujer bella. And right now I'm telling you, she's a beautiful person. And it might sound like I'm talking about her, but I'm not. Sometimes we could start talking in Spanish and all of a sudden in the middle of the conversation, we change to English and back and forth. It's something that happens in the Latin community.
Ms. Irizarry, what do you think about their long-term engagement at this point?
I think that, he should think about what he wants to do. He should have made his mind up a long time ago. I'm just saying that he's allowing things to happen in our family to affect him in this relationship, and he needs to man up.
Thank you, Ms. Irizarry. I appreciate you being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to tell you something, Ms. Santillanes, about ambiguity and what that means in a relationship. When a person's actions don't match their words, what that really tells you is there's something that they really feel that they're not sharing with you. And there comes a point in time where the decision should no longer be Mr. Diaz's decision. It becomes your decision. Because the question is, how long are you willing to wait? And for you, it's been year after year. As a matter of fact, let's pull up the wedding bingo graphic that you submitted to court today.
Yes.
You know what those represent? All the dates you've been told no.
Yeah.
Every single one of those dates has been a no. How many more times is Mr. Diaz going to say no? I'm not saying this to hurt you or make you feel bad. I'm saying this to wake you up. Because don't you want to get married to somebody who can't wait to walk down the aisle and marry you?
Absolutely.
Don't you want to get married to somebody who's so happy and excited, and you plan this, you pick this date together, they beat you to the courthouse?
Yes.
Isn't that what you really want?
Absolutely, yes.
Because he talks about the past, he talks about building for the future, but I'm talking about your present. That's not going so well for you.
No, it's not.
You have to look at their actions, and that's what you judge it by when there's this ambiguity, because I think you've stayed for so long because he says he loves you, and because he says he's working, and because he says he's saving all this money, and because you said serendipity, we ran into each other all these years later, after being childhood sweethearts, it must be meant to be. But the answer has been no.
Yeah.
You have to take that no and make a decision for yourself and say yes to you. Yes to what you really want, which is to be married, to have a family, to have children, and to have that, and you deserve that if that's what you want.
It is what I want.
And for you, sir, it's okay for you not to want to be married, but what's not okay is for you to string people along. What's not okay is for you to be dishonest about it. If you don't want to be married and you don't want to have children, okay. But what's not okay is for you to continue to set these dates and then you pull out at the last minute. It's just not right. It's just not fair. And you need to listen to your sister and man up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck to both of you.
We've been together 10 years. I think your actions tell me more.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm done.
I admit that I've been stubborn, yes, and I've been living in the past. I am sorry for that. I admit
you give me
that
excuses
because
all the time.
I
if
want
you
to make it
loved me,
right.
Like
I want
she
to make
said, it wouldn't be this way.
I want to make sure this is right for us.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Honey, please, hear me out, honey, please. I love you, babe. I will change my ways. I will change my ways if you let me, if you give me that opportunity. Please.